A professional grower can expect some great results from using GrowSmart. He can expect, number one, to have increased yield in whatever he's growing. If you're doing fruit trees or row crops, any of those two, we've had phenomenal success with people using it. The biggest thing is increased yield. We see that our growers are seeing more product per acre. They're seeing more pounds per plant coming in once the harvest comes. Some of the other things that they'll see is they'll see increased insect resistance. They're going to see increased insect resistance, increased disease resistance. And the reason this is because what happens is by using GrowSmart, it raises up the Brix level or the sugar level in the plant. And as that sugar level is raised up, what happens in the case of insect resistance is that soft-bodied insects, such as aphids, they cannot digest that high content of sugar. So it doesn't really kill them, so it's not an insecticide, but they just move along. They just go on to the next place where they can eat. And so that works out great for a lot of growers. Having disease resistance, we've had melon producers who would normally treat their melons like cantaloupe with a solution of bleach in their water to not get powdery mildew. You can use our product without having to use bleach. Spray it on there. You won't have any disease in that respect. You won't have that powdery mildew disease. We've seen increased plant growth. You can expect fuller, healthier plants. In your row crops, such as wheat, oats, those types of things, by increasing the root size, you don't get hardly any blowdown, if any at all. And so that automatically raises up your profit level right there, just because of that. Also in row crops, we have growers who do soybeans, and they just increased their production or their yield by 20 to 30%. They do just phenomenal results in that respect. In our fruit growers, what we're seeing is that higher sugar level. That higher sugar level in the fruit just gives them a much better tasting fruit, like in cherries, are just sweeter. Peaches become just that much more flavorful, and that gives them a competitive edge in the marketplace, especially those growers who tend to do agrotourism, whereas they're selling more directly to the consumer. They will see a great increase in people will come back. They'll just notice the difference in the flavor of your fruits. We've had certain growers who have paid attention to their honeybee population, and after using this for a period of time, they've noticed that because of that Brix level, that sugar level being higher in the plants, and especially when they flower, that the honeybees have become more predominant and more of them than in years past when they have noticed the population declining. So we're also seeing a increase in that too. One of the major benefits a professional grower is going to notice is especially our fruit growers, is the increased frost resistance that we're going to have. It's going to lower the freezing temperature of the plant by increasing your sugar level on the plants. What that does is that lowers the freezing temperature. You're going to get protection down to about 27 degrees Fahrenheit, which will make or break your whole crop. And so just by spraying this on a few weeks beforehand, getting on a program to spray GrowSmart in your regular program, you can save your crop, which is a huge, you can't put a price on that. That's huge, a huge benefit to growers. An everyday gardener can expect results of more tomatoes per bush, They can expect more beans per bush. We experimented ourselves, with beans, tomatoes, and peppers, and the beans we did sprayed 2 rows of beans and left 2 rows not sprayed. And what we found out is we were to market a week earlier on the rows that were sprayed. We also saw an increase in production, and it was kind of a guesstimate, but we figured about 30 to 35% more beans per row than the ones that didn't, that we did not spray. And so we got more produce out of a smaller area. So a gardener can have a small area. They can produce more in that small area. They can expect better insect resistance with this product, mainly because, as we talked about before, the increased sugar level in the plant, the aphids and soft-bodied insects, they just cannot digest this, and so they move on and move away from your garden and maybe into your neighbor's garden, but they just keep going. You can expect to use less fertilizers, because the nutrients that are in the soil, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be pulling those nutrients that were generally tied up out of your soils, and so you're going to get a lot more nutrients. That's what's going to make your plant better. And here's something that's very, very important, is you're going to be able to extend your season by a good 10 days, 2 weeks, maybe even longer into the fall, because what we're doing is with the increased sugar levels in the plants, you are able to drop your frost temperature down to about 27 degrees Fahrenheit. So by dropping that down, you're going to be protected through those first early frosts, and then it warms back up, and then it's nice again. So you're going to be able to weather that storm and keep producing for longer into the season.